Welcome everyone to the Geese Online iMSA webinar this evening, this afternoon, or maybe morning, wherever you are located. My name is Kate Deering. I am a coordinator within Geese Online programs in the recruitment and admissions space. I am very excited to have you all here and to be able to present on the iMSA program today. We are going to talk about the details of the program, the curriculum, the application process, but we're also going to talk a little bit about Geese Online as a whole. While we're waiting for people to join, I wanted to see where everyone is from. And you will notice I do have a few polls this evening that we will launch, but tell me where you're joining us from. You should see a poll on your screen currently. I am in Champaign-Urbana, right where the University of Illinois is. Allison Hodina is my colleague, and she is here. She's located in the Chicago suburbs. Michelle, where are you located?
I'm in Michigan.
Okay, Michigan. So we've got the Midwest covered. And I'm going to introduce Michelle here in just one second. But let's see. It doesn't look like the poll. Oh, you know why? Because everybody is either from the Canada or the United States at the bottom. So, well, welcome everyone. You may have noticed this QR code on our screen. If you would like myself or an admissions counselor to reach out to you sooner than later, in order to just chat about what your goals are and see if this program is right for you, go ahead and scan that with your camera, and a short form will pop up, and we can chat at a later time this week. So. I did want to introduce Allison Hodina. As I said, she is a coordinator as well within Geese Online. She is going to handle the Q&A this evening, and I would encourage you to put any questions that you have on the program, any questions that you are going to have for Michelle, my guest ambassador of the program. Please enter them there, and that gives us a place to kind of hold those questions where everyone can view the answers and kind of keeps them all streamlined. Let's reserve the chat for some encouragement and any comments that you want to make. So thank you, Allison, for handling the chat. I do want to introduce my guest as well, Michelle Luby. She is going to be here. She is an iMSA current student, and she is going to answer our questions throughout the presentation today. She is going to introduce herself here in just a moment. We're very excited to have her here just to really give that student experience and an honest experience of what it would be like to be in the iMSA program. But before we introduce Michelle, I did want to just go over the agenda real quick. We are going to go through the Geese Business Online model. I want to give you a good idea of what we do here at Geese. We'll talk about the program, the curriculum, and the content, application tips and tricks, and then of course we'll have hopefully a lot of time at the end for Q&A. Before we dive in, tell me, what has been holding you back from applying to the iMSA program? What has been your biggest hesitancy up until now in pursuing graduate education? These are all things that we are going to cover today. And so we just want to make sure that we'll be able to answer all of your questions. Is it time? Are you ready to apply? It looks like a few of you have no hesitancy. Is the online format throwing you off? Tell us what's happening. While you're finishing that up, I do want to give you just another second. I want to introduce our panelists. So Michelle has volunteered to spend some time with us tonight to answer our questions and really share what that student experience looks like. Michelle, do you mind introducing yourself and telling us really why you decided to pursue your MSA degree?
Sure, I'm Michelle Luby. I'm in the MSA program, and I expect to be finished at the end of next year. Really, the main reason I was looking at an MSA is my undergraduate's in chemistry, and then I got my MBA and started working, and I really enjoyed the finance class in my MBA, so I moved over into the finance world, and I have probably 20 years of finance experience, and throughout that time, I've really thought about for getting a master's in accountancy to give me more of that background in accounting that's more robust than what I got in the MBA program. Lots of work experience, but really wanted to get that education to go with it, just to give me more opportunities at work, as well as to help me in the job that I currently have. I had thought about it for many, many years, but one of the challenges with that was I've got a family and I've got a very demanding job, and it was really difficult to think about being able to be in a classroom every week and really being able to make the time to be there in person. So when I found the iMSA format, I was really excited because I could see how that would fit into my really busy life, help me achieve that goal of getting my master's in accountancy in a way that really fits into the format that I needed it to fit into.
Excellent. Thanks for sharing that. We're excited that you're here. And Michelle, as I said, we're going to just kind of send questions her way while we move through the presentation. So the Geese Business Online model, I wanted to just give you an overview of what we're all about here at Geese. And it's really made up of three main qualities. The first one being flexibility. Geese Business is all about being flexible. There's no travel requirements to show up at class. It's completely online, including all of your courses and all of your group work. It is really paced to fit your needs. And by that, I mean, we have 8-week terms and there's 5 throughout the year. And you can take one course each 8-week term, or you can take 2, depending on your schedule. You know, you can take a look ahead at your work that's coming up and decide, you know what, I don't even think I can handle one class this 8-week term. That's totally fine. We're willing to work with you on that. We also have a flexible tuition model in that it's a pay-as-you-go model. So you only pay for the courses that you are registered in at that time. There's no lump sum payment. And also, not to mention, the whole program itself is it's offered at a pretty affordable price to begin with. The second key part of Geese Business Online is that it's stackable. Our credentials and our online programs, they all stack and work together. And so you can start with just a single course for upskilling, or you can stack that course into a certificate for credentialing. And then you can apply that certificate that you've earned towards your master's degree. So this unique stackability allows you the option to test drive a course, and especially if you're not quite ready to dive all the way into your master's degree. If you enjoy that experience in taking a MOOC, we're going to talk about that in a second, or a non-degree course, just taking one course and you enjoy it, then you can build from there until you decide that you're ready for the full degree. And then lastly, online by design means that this program was not adapted to be in this format. It was designed to be delivered to thousands of learners worldwide. And we really created highly engaging content that you can access anywhere, anytime, without giving up any of your career or your family commitments. It was also intentionally designed to have a lot of interactions with your faculty and your fellow students, and include a lot of collaboration during your degree work. So when we talk about the stackability and the stackable build in Geese Online programs, this is a great slide just depicting that. The box on the right is what a Geese learner journey could look like if you were to take part in every step. Keep in mind that you don't have to do every step, and you also don't have to do them in any type of order. So just a couple examples, you could start with that free online course or MOOC. This is a massive online open course that's offered on Coursera. These are courses that are the building blocks of our Geese Online courses, the foundational material in our courses. You can then take that MOOC and stack it into a non-degree 4-credit hour course at Illinois. This course is going to be led by Geese faculty, and you're going to earn that transcript credit from the University of Illinois. Another step could be taking that one course, combining it with 2 other courses for 12 credit hours and earning a graduate certificate. Then you're going to master a specific topic like strategic leadership and management, or accounting analytics, or a newly launched digital marketing campus certificate. So you can really get skilled in that specific area and have mastery of that topic. And then lastly, all of those campus certificates are stackable into our master's degrees, the iMSA, the iMBA, and the iMSM. So um, just a huge portfolio really of learning options. And, these can meet you wherever you're at in your learning timeline. One more stackability option that we just recently added as well is stacking the MSM into the MBA. This is a first time for the University of Illinois. We're very excited about it, but you can now stack that MSM degree into the Master's of Business Administration. So super exciting news there. So all of these possibilities are included in the Geese Learner Journey. We really offer many options to expand your learning, and really you can choose where to start and only take on what you can handle at that time. This slide I think is a great visual of the stackability, in that you can stack them however you want. It's your journey, and they don't have to be taken in a specific order, and you're always going to have options to be able to add into your learner journey. So let's get into the nuts and bolts of the Master's of Science in Accountancy. This degree will run you 20 to 27K. That's going to be the total cost, including tuition and fees. And this is a range because of your course choices. So you're going to have some options to choose some electives, and based on which ones you choose, that's going to dictate a little bit of a different tuition. You can take anywhere from 18 to 36 months to complete this program, and we'll even let you go a little bit longer than that. You get to decide what your degree plan is and how you're going to pace that. So you can take one course or two courses each 8-week term, and that will determine how long you'll take. Michelle, what kind of degree plan are you shooting for? Are you leaning towards the 18 months or the 36 months?
So 36 months. I take just one class at a time.
Okay. I don't see how people take more than one. There's a lot of students that do, but I would be with you in taking one with just family and jobs and things. So,
and I really wanted to get the most I could out of the class. So taking one class at a time really allows me to really understand the material and really focus on it.
Okay, good point. The iMSA has 2 start dates. You can start in January, or you can start in August. So there's just 2 cohorts that start each year. We do have a summer term in May, but you'll just take a course during that time. We don't actually admit a new class at that time. The average age of our iMSA students is 36 with 10 years of work experience. So we don't have a work experience requirement. We still do have a pretty seasoned, professional background in this program. But again, you don't have to have any type of work experience in order to apply to the iMSA. We currently have 46 US states and territories represented and 39 countries. So we are going to touch on the global nature of our program here in a little bit, but you can see that it's definitely reflected in the MSA program. And then these last 2 statistics, we have a 75% first-time pass rate for the CPA exam, which is extremely high. And my most favorite fact is the #1 ranked faculty of our accounting faculty here at the University of Illinois, the Gies College of Business. So you are going to be learning from the best. So who is this iMSA degree for? You heard a little bit about Michelle's background, and we have, in addition to what she was looking for, we have a lot of applicants that really just want to be able to take the CPA exam. You'll definitely be prepared for that test with the iMSA, though. Make sure that you understand what your specific state requirements are in order to sit for that exam, because every state is going to have different requirements. The iMSA program also builds expertise in the fundamentals of accounting, financial reporting, audit and control, and US federal taxation. So we're looking for strategic thinkers who want to also focus possibly on data analytics. And so whether you're a really seasoned accounting professional or you're brand new to the field, you still are going to be well positioned to advance your career and increase your earnings potential. So we have a lot of also mid-level professionals that are looking to move into that C-suite position as well. So Michelle, you mentioned a little bit about your background and why you applied to the program. As far as kind of your return on investment at this point, where are you seeing the most impact so far, based on what your background was and the courses that you've taken?
So when I started the program, I had just moved into a new role as a M&A finance director at my company, and the classes that I've been taking just help me be even better at my job than I would have been otherwise. They're the way I'm able to phrase things and understand things that are required for the financial analysis that I'm doing. The classes have enhanced that significantly. So not only does it help me be better in the job that I'm in today, but it opens up a whole new path of future career opportunities that might not have been available to me without this degree.
Okay, those are great examples. I'm going to dive a little bit deeper now into just what the curriculum and the content that you'll have in the iMSA program. And you'll complete 32 credit hours. 20 of those are going to be your core curriculum. So those are going to be accounting analysis 1 and 2, managerial accounting, auditing, and federal taxation. And then you'll be able to choose 12 credit hours. And this is where I mentioned that your tuition can be a little bit varied based on what your elective choices are, because non-accounting electives are going to cost $320 per credit hour. Accounting electives will be $850 per credit hour. You do have to take at least 4 credit hours that are non-accounting included in your elective. So did you take one of these paths, Michelle, or what are you doing, making your own path?
I'm not taking one of the classes listed there. I actually took corporate finance for one of my electives and corporate strategy.
Corporate strategy, okay. Yeah, so you can also design your own elective path. These are just a couple examples that we've set up that you can follow, but you're also welcome to create your own path. When you do apply to the iMSA, we do require a minimum of 1 business management course and a principles of accounting course. So those are 2 prerequisites in order to apply to the iMSA. If you have questions about that, reach out to us. There are some Coursera courses that you can take in to replace those if you haven't taken any of those courses in your undergraduate studies. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what's included in these iMSA courses. And the way that we structure our courses, we make them up with 2 components. And the first component is on Coursera. Coursera is a large educational platform that provides the foundational material in your course. We like to say that it's kind of like your textbook in the course. It is made up of pre-recorded videos that are made by your faculty members, your professors. You will have some quizzes, you'll have reading assignments, and then there's also peer evaluation on some kind of small little reflections within the Coursera MOOC. A MOOC is what the course is called, or Massive Online Open Course. Those are Coursera MOOCs, and there's typically 2 of those in every Illinois 4-credit course. You may have taken one of these courses, these MOOCs, in the past, and if you've earned your certificate, then that progress will migrate over and be counted towards your iMSA course. You're going to want to refer back to it for sure, because as you move through the 8-week term and the course content, you'll want to definitely refer back to that foundational material, but we will credit that progress if you've already taken or earned that certificate. The other part of our courses is the high engagement component. This is a major part of the classes. This is going to build upon those 2 MOOCs, or Massive Online Open Courses on Coursera, that are included in every course as well. So this high engagement component is going to give you the real world projects and concepts to pull through all those things that you've learned on Coursera. You will have 1 live lecture each week where your professor will give around 90 minutes. I think these are typically, they'll give their lecture, and then they'll have also a lot of small group breakout sessions within those live lectures where you'll discuss a case study or talk about a question that the professor provides. These weekly live lectures are offered at several different times during the day to accommodate our global time zones. So, um, typically they could be offered, at 11 a.m., 5 p.m., and 7 p.m., or maybe a 6 p.m. at night, and then the next morning. You just have to make one. And if you can't make it, we do record them, but it's obviously best to be present in those live lectures where there's a lot of collaboration happening. Um, you will have group projects, and these are going to have 4 to 5 other students in each group. And we'll have Michelle tell us a little bit about one of those here in a second. But every professor is going to have different amounts of group projects in their classes. You'll have to just wait and see what that looks like. And then lastly, your faculty is available for office hours where you can discuss current assignments. You can have a discussion with them. You can kind of chat with the other students that are at office hours. And so that is an excellent resource that we offer as well. So, Michelle, can you just talk a little bit about, first of all, balancing the Coursera component and the high engagement component, and then maybe tell us about what a group project would look like in the iMSA program?
Sure. So the combination of the high engagement portion and the Coursera portion, I think, really adds a lot of robustness to the program. The Coursera information is always out there, so usually I like to start on that before the class even starts, so I can start to get ahead of things. So when class actually starts, on the first day of class, I already know what we're going to be talking about that day. I'm ready to engage in the classroom lectures. It gives me a little bit of a head start for the semester. The lectures are really great because it's all via Zoom, so that you can interact with the professors either by typing into the chat or raising your hand and speaking up during class. There's often breakout rooms, so you get to work with the other students in the class. Office hours, so if you have additional questions that you want to talk to the professor about, it just really adds a lot of different ways that you can learn the material. So I find that really flexible and really helpful in the way I want to learn. I can get the materials in a variety of different ways. I can really learn the information in a way that helps me to use it at work in the long term. For the group projects, I really like how they're set up because they're set up in a way that is very consistent with the way I do work for my job. So, we get together on Zoom, we talk about what needs to be done, we plan things out, we all go off, do our part, come back, review the parts that we've done, see how all the pieces fit together. The projects are generally very consistent with things you might do in real life. For example, in our tax project for the class I'm on right now, we had to work together as a team to write a protest letter to the IRS, as well as a letter to the client to let them know what we would be writing to the IRS, and then put together a video for that conversation with the client. So 3 different ways of looking at the material, really helping us learn it. And I think it would be very consistent with if you went into tax as a career, those are 3 different types of activities that you might be doing. So really a good way to learn the material in a way that's meaningful for a career.
Yeah, very real world in the group project. So cool. Thank you for sharing that. So let's pivot a little bit and from kind of the program specifics to speaking a little bit more about the network that you're going to experience within Geese Online and the global nature of our programs. This slide also speaks a lot to the mission of Geese to make education accessible to all, being that the University of Illinois is a land-grant institution. We've really taken that to heart here at the Gies College of Business, and are really trying to make this education accessible at an affordable price for those who want to seek out higher education learning. So you are going to meet students from all over the world within this program. We have 3.1 million MOOC learners from Coursera, and then 11.3 thousand degree learners. So many students that these students are made up of underrepresented minorities. We have 3.8 thousand women that are working towards or have earned a degree already. And lastly, we are super excited to say that we have students from 145 countries in our online programs, and all 50 states represented. So this really, these numbers really reflect the diverse learning environment that you are going to have in every live class, every group project in the program. So just think about that experience and that work experience and education that is going to be completely different than yours that you get to learn from. So I think that's like a big part of what makes our program unique, because those are going to be the students that are in your group projects and in your live classes. It also just provides a lot of professional examples of work experience of failed or successful projects that you get to build upon too. So the more people that we have out there in the world sharing their experiences is what makes our program really special, I think. We do have around, we expect around 5,300 students this total learners this fall. So we're definitely still growing, and it's a very exciting time here. As we talk about the professional experience, that some of our students bring to the classroom, that includes all types of backgrounds. One measure of the quality of this network is the number of Fortune 500 companies that are represented and where our students work. And 82 of those Fortune 500 companies are currently represented in the iMSA program. So that's just a great statistic. Some of those companies are listed on this slide. So with that global environment, naturally, you're going to have the opportunity to network a lot. And I think this question is a common question. How in the heck am I going to connect in this virtual environment? Like, it just seems impossible. Well, I wanted to share just a couple opportunities that you'll have in the program, just to kind of show you a little bit of the amount of networking opportunities that you'll have. And those are either going to be Geese led or student led. And a couple ways that we try to facilitate networking is in iConnects, which iConnects are held across the United States. These are designed to help you expand your network, where we'll feature a keynote speaker. We will bring in some of our online staff, as well as a faculty member maybe, or someone from our leadership team, and you'll be able to mingle with current students. These are really fun events. We also have iConverge, which is our fall kickoff event every year that we hold in September, and we invite all of our online students to campus for professional development, networking, and lots of fun. Michelle, have you ever been to iConverge?
I attended virtually, but not in person.
Okay, cool. Yes, the opening ceremonies, did you watch that this past September? Yeah, it was cool.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a really, really fun event. I have a couple, I'll share a slide here in a moment from this last iConverge, but that's a great opportunity. So on the student-led opportunity side, you'll have Workplace, which upon admission, you'll be given access to Workplace. And what that is it's a Facebook or Meta group just for our online students. And so on this Workplace, students share helpful tips on their classes, like which classes to pair, degree planning, peer review questions, lots of job searching, and just general career advice. And then also just a lot of fun posts, which are always enjoyable. So this is a key networking tool and it's really up to you how much you use it. Can you talk a little bit about how you like to use Workplace, Michelle?
Yeah, I like to look at it as I'm planning for the next classes. I like to see what other people have posted about the classes. I usually only take one class at a time. So I don't usually look at it for what classes to pair, but it's helpful to know how demanding the class will be. If they say it can be paired easily with another class, then I know it'll be a little bit easier semester. If it's better by itself, then I try to plan that around with my work schedule and make sure I'm not pairing an extra busy work schedule with an extra difficult class.
There's Workplace groups for each class too, right? Where you can go to the actual group that's for, ACCE 501 or whatever. And then you can get ideas and study guides and stuff there, right?
I haven't seen them for the specific class, but I know there's different groups. So there's one for, I think, the MBA program, the MSA program. There's a variety of different categories like that, but I haven't actually looked to see if there's one for each specific class.
Okay.
Usually I just
That
look
could
within
be,
the other categories.
yeah, that could be for the other 2 degrees too. I feel like the iMSA is a little bit less active in workplace than the other 2 degrees are. So that could be the reason too. But yeah, the key to that tool is like you can get as much out of it as you want or as little, but it is there for you. There's also student-led meetups, and these are very popular in all of our online programs. They are often organized on Workplace, but students will reach out to other students that live fairly close to their home base, and they'll meet up at a coffee shop or a local restaurant and come together and connect in person. And then lastly, these group projects that we're talking about that you're going to have in every 8-week term are also great networking opportunities. So these groups are going to work together outside of the live classes, and you're going to get to know these 4 to 5 other students. You may even be in their group in your next class. So you'll be able to kind of create some excellent, relationships with those students and have them as a resource throughout the rest of your time at Geese. So I just wanted to say one thing about the group work. There is a group preference form that you fill out before your classes. So it's not like we're just throwing anybody into these groups. We do try to create diverse groups, and we also try to create groups that accommodate time zones and really when you like to work. So you'll fill out a group preference form before every term starts, and you can kind of update that as you go. But that gives us a little bit of insight and helps us create those diverse groups. So I wanted to share just a couple slides that illustrate some of these networking opportunities that we were talking about, but my slides are not advancing here. Give me one second. There we go. iConverge, we mentioned. So this past September, we had 501 students and alumni in attendance, and 38 states and 17 countries that were represented in the program. So that bottom left-hand picture was all of the women that attended. And then we did have an event in the State Farm Center, which was really cool. We were actually down on the floor and had some professional development, some leadership speakers. So that was really cool. But just a great chance to meet your colleagues and experience campus. You can go to a football game. We have a big tailgate as well. And I highly recommend trying to come if you have the chance. Workplace. Okay, so this was just a couple of posts that I just wanted to give you some examples of what happens on Workplace. Lindsay in the middle, she was completing a course with her daughter, sitting on her lap. The picture on the bottom left-hand corner was 2 iMBA students that randomly ended up their companies working together in a different country, and they got to meet. So a lot of connections are made on there. And then there's always often many graduation pictures, which we love. So that's Workplace. And then lastly, the student meetups. So these happen not only domestically, but they happen globally too. This bottom right-hand corner was one of our ambassadors last year. He's in Colombia. They organized a Cubs meetup in Chicago. Michelle, have you done any student meetups?
I haven't, no.
Okay. I'm sure there's one. I don't know if I've heard of one up in Michigan, but there's got to be one.
I met a lot of other students that are in Michigan. I just haven't had the chance to actually meet them face to face.
Yeah. And some of our more populated areas like Chicago, Southern California, Dallas, they have many groups that get together. And you might just have to make your own group, right? Okay, so let's get back to kind of a little bit of the support system that you'll have while in the program, and that's in the student and academic success team. So once you're a current student, you're going to have their full support. This is the advising team that we offer here as a Geese current student. They're experts in helping you create your degree plan. And then also, if you're having any type of issue in your class, you would just email them or meet with them. They have express advising, they have office hours, you can meet with them one-on-one. They're very available, this is an excellent resource in the program. Have you utilized the student academic support team, Michelle?
I have actually. When I was about halfway through the program, I wanted to make sure that where I had not too many classes left to take, I wanted to make sure I was taking the exact right ones and not having any surprises when I got close to being done. So it was very, very easy. I just went online, selected the time that I wanted to meet with someone, called into the Zoom meeting, and they answered all my questions, and I was right on track.
Good. I know they're also, yes, like some of our specializations have a specific order, not too many, but they're really great at helping you pair and giving guidance in that way. So just a great resource in the program. Okay, we've gotten to the application requirements. Hopefully you're feeling really good about this. I'm curious, I'm going to launch one more poll. Which part of the application is making you most nervous? Is it the resume? Is it just the personal statement? Tell us what you're most nervous about. And as you're doing that, I'm going to kind of dive in a little bit just to hopefully alleviate some of these nerves regarding the application. The first thing that we'll require is the resume. This resume just needs to be 1 to 2 pages, a brief overview of your work experience and your education. So it doesn't need to be super fancy or in depth. That's what we're looking for. We will, I'm going to end this poll here. It looks like personal statement and scholarship essay are the most popular. So we will definitely cover those. We do require a bachelor's degree in order to apply to the MSA program and a minimum GPA of 3.0. And so the way that you'll show us that is that we will need unofficial transcripts, which is just a copy or a PDF or a scanned copy of your transcript uploaded to your application portal. Make sure it has your degree conferred on there. If you are an international student and went to school abroad, then you will need the mark sheets and the certificate of degree or diploma as well. And then if it wasn't delivered in English, we would need official English translations of those mark sheets or transcripts. Then you will move on to the personal statement. And the personal statement is important. We look at applications holistically, so we are going to look at every single part, but this is the part that enables us to get to know you a little bit. This is your chance to shine. We really are not looking for just a listing of your work experience and each job that you've had. We want to get to know you. We want to see really what your goals are. Why are you even pursuing this MSA? How is this degree going to help you reach your goals? We're really looking to get a little bit more in depth with you and understand your motivation. There's also an optional essay, and that's really for students who want to explain something like a low GPA from your bachelor's degree, or perhaps you have a gap in your work experience that you'd like to talk about. That's where you would put that information. 2 letters of recommendation are required, and that includes one from a current or previous supervisor. We do prefer that. And for the letters of recommendation, you just need the name and email of your recommenders. We actually take care of emailing them a form to fill out that's very straightforward. It is not a huge lift. It shouldn't take them more than 20-30 minutes to fill this form out. There's a couple kind of open-ended questions, and then the other ones they'll strongly agree to strongly disagree just about your work relationship with this person. So that's pretty straightforward. Let's see. English proficiency test. If you're an international student, we do require that English proficiency test. And Allison can put in the chat what those rules are. If you have any questions about that, please reach out to us. We're happy to help. We do not require the GRE or the GMAT. If you've taken that, great, but it's definitely not required in order to apply to the MSA program. And then lastly, the scholarship essay. So we do partner with Coursera and offer in offering one scholarship opportunity that reimburses 70% of the tuition if awarded. It's a very competitive scholarship. It is need and diversity based, and it's really focusing on making our programs more accessible while impacting the global community of our students. So you'll find the prompt within the program application, and just the important thing here is that you'll have to submit both of those when you submit your application, and the final deadline for that scholarship is November 3rd. So that's coming up right around the corner. Time is going too fast, but if you are interested in the scholarship, make sure you turn your application in by then. Let's see. And then lastly, we do require a business management and a financial accounting course as a prerequisite. We do have some Coursera courses that you can take in place of those if you don't have those on your transcripts. And Allison, can you put those in the chat as well? And then lastly, I did want to mention one other pathway into the iMSA program, and it's called the performance-based admissions track. And this is for students who may not quite meet that minimum GPA requirement of 3.0, or perhaps maybe you lack relevant professional work experience. This would be an opportunity for those students to apply and try out the program and see if you can handle the academic rigor of the program. You go through the same process in order to apply, but if admitted, we would have you take 2 courses as a non-degree student, and if you get a B or better, you have to earn a B or better in both of those classes and an overall GPA of 3.0, and then we will automatically admit you. So it's a great opportunity for some students who may not directly be admitted right into the degree program. Say your GPA is like a 2.5, but you have everything else really strong on your application. That might be a great opportunity for you. So if you have questions about that particular program, please ask. Okay, just a couple more slides here. Application review. So after you submit your application, our admissions team will review your application for completeness, and we will email you with either a decision, a missing materials email. So you might say you're missing a letter of recommendation, or perhaps you are missing a page of your transcripts or something. We'll reach out to you. And then the other option would be we'll invite you to interview. Everybody who is admitted will have a short 20-minute Zoom interview. Nothing to be nervous about. It'll be with someone like myself or Allison. We'll just ask you a little bit about what your goals are, how this program is going to help you reach those goals. Nothing too stressful. Michelle, do you remember your Zoom interview?
I do, and I agree. It wasn't stressful. It was just basically communicating why I was interested in the program. They made it very, very friendly and welcoming.
Good. Yeah, we just want to make sure, we know what our goals are, and that's to help you learn basically and advance your career. But we also want to know what your goals are and what you're going to bring to the program. So, but nothing to be nervous about, I promise. Okay, so our next deadline coming up is November 3rd, as I said, and this will provide the most benefits if you apply early. So you have access to Workplace, which we talked about, to start networking right away. You'll have access to Coursera, and you can start working on the Coursera component of the courses that you're going to be starting in January. So you can get a head start on that portion. And then, as I mentioned, the scholarship consideration, you do need to apply by November 3rd if you're trying to be awarded that scholarship for a January start. So this is a lot of information here. I want to check the Q&A in the chat for questions. And if you have any questions for Michelle about the program, please enter them there. But now that you've heard all the information about the iMSA program. Tell us which describes you best. Check out the poll and let us know. Are you closer to applying? Did you already start your application? Let us know where you're at. And while you're filling that out, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I've been talking a lot, so I haven't had a chance to check out the chat. Michelle, have you been checking? Do you see any questions there that?
There was just one question, but Allison already answered it.
Okay. Do you have to include your associate degree grades? I see. Those would be included if you took any 4-credit courses. That will be included anyway on your bachelor's degree transcript. So typically when you have transfer credits, those are all going to be on the institution that you graduate from. So there you go. Okay.
Kate, can you talk about how our online program differs from our on-campus program where the iMSA is concerned? And is the iMSA more geared towards professionals, or is it suitable for students who are just coming out of their undergrad as well?
Well, I'm going to let Michelle, do you have any insight on the students that have been in your classes, like in kind of answering that question, their backgrounds, I guess, that are kind of in with you?
Yeah, I think everybody that I've worked on projects with, or that where I've learned more about their background, have been professionals. Some have a few less years of experience, but I think your 10-year average of work experience is pretty consistent with what I've experienced. Some of the people I've worked with have had, very serious accounting backgrounds, but a lot of them are wanting to get more into the finance and accounting world. And so they're engineers or project managers, different kinds of backgrounds, hoping to get this kind of education to move into a different area for their career.
Okay, that's a good explanation. I think that the in-person residential MSA is geared more towards those who have a business degree at Illinois and continue on and earn that MSA in that 1 year after they graduate too. So it's a little bit different population, I guess, in the two programs. I just saw one question. Is the GPA criteria for the college you graduated from your CUME GPA or your academic history? We're going to look at your overall GPA that you've earned in your bachelor's degree. Let's see. Is there a site where I can see the lifetime options for each course? So before you register for your course, you'll have a schedule that you can look at all the different courses and what times they're offered. And those are usually set though. So you'll have that, I don't know, probably, I don't know, is it typically like a month or two, Michelle, when you can kind of view that? Would be right before you register?
You can see the classes, I think you're right, about a month or two before, but sometimes the times aren't in there until a little closer to the time that you sign up. All of the classes I've taken, the day of the week varies, but it's typically around, I'm in Eastern time, so typically around 11 Eastern during the day, and then about 6 or 7 in the evening. Okay,
so there's an option regardless of where you're on the globe. So I see a question about the number of hours that you put into all of the coursework and the live classes each week. Can you approximate that?
I think it depends on the class, typically between about 10 and 15 hours. I probably put in more time than I need to, but like I said, I really want to learn the material and be able to apply it at work. And one of the things I do as I'm learning it is I'm building tools that I can use at work. So when I took the financial accounting class, I now have an Excel workbook with all of the different journal entries and calculators I might need. So I spend a lot of time doing that. I'd say 10 is probably a pretty good estimate between the classwork and the preparing for class, any of the homework assignments.
Okay.
Probably a pretty good estimate.
I think we usually say too, if you add on an additional course, it could be 20 to 30 hours of work each week if you're taking 2 courses every 8-week term. So that definitely lines up. Have you ever had, there's a question about class sizes. Can you talk a little bit about how many students are usually in your live classes? And also, have you ever had a class that was full when you went to register for it?
I've never had one that's full.
Okay.
I think they allow up to 1,500 students. So
Yeah.
I've never had one that big. So the smaller classes usually have, like the session I attend maybe have 50 students in the Zoom. The bigger ones are maybe more like 100, 150.
Okay. Let's see. So yes, and she did answer. I've not heard of too many classes filling up. I think we had our first.
I should. One comment I will make is that the classrooms tend to have more students in them, but if you want that more personal attention outside of the classroom, there are office hours. And I've attended office hours before, and usually you can talk directly with the professor. You can get all of your questions answered. People kind of come and go, so they might come in for the first 10 minutes, get their questions answered and drop off. Other people will stay for the whole time. So that's usually more like maybe 10 people in the office hours at any given time. So you can really get that personal attention that you need when you have questions or if there's something that you're not understanding.
Okay. If a student, say you can't attend the live classes due to work or family or whatever, does that impact your grade at all?
Not at all. I've had that happen before where I'm traveling for work. I just watch the video later. In some classes where there's more like breakout sessions, you miss that experience. I wouldn't recommend doing it for the entire class, but it doesn't impact your grade. You just get a little less chance to collaborate with your classmates.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Typically, yeah, we definitely recommend trying to attend those, as you said, but we get it. Like, people are busy, and at the core of our program is flexibility. So you're definitely going to have that recording option. Are the classes all 8 weeks, or core classes only 8 weeks? The accounting classes are a little different in that they're an A and a B. So they'll be, you'll take the A portion the first 8 weeks, and then the B portion the second 8 weeks. But yes, we have 5 8-week terms throughout the year. So I guess the summer, Michelle, what do you usually take in the summer? Is that when you do your electives?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Okay.
That's when I'm taking the electives.
All right. Any other questions that we've missed, Allison? Great questions.
I think we've gotten them all. Oh, it looks like another one just popped up. Question about how long a student can take to finish the program. Can they go over that 36-month mark?
Okay. Yes. So the graduate college does have a maximum of 5 years. Now, not too many people reach that. You will be long gone before that. You'll be on to graduation and bigger and better things. But yes, you can, if you have to take an 8-week term off, you'll just work with your advisor and you'll take that term off. We understand that there's things that come up. But yes, you cannot go past the 5 years, but believe me, that's plenty of time for you to complete your degree. That typically students will take anywhere from 18 to 36 months. Like Michelle's on the 36-month plan, taking one course at a time. And that's continuously too, right? Have you taken any terms off?
No, I haven't taken any time off. I think it'll be a little less than 36 months. I started in the summer and I'll be done at the end of next year.
Okay, cool. All right, I think we've got, one last question. How are midterms, tests, etc. handled? Do we have to go to an in-person proctored location, or do we take them online? Michelle, I'm going to let you take that one.
It's all online. There's a tool that the school uses called Campus, and all of the classes I've taken use that for the exams. You go in, sometimes it's written answers, or you might have like an Excel file that you attach to it. A lot of times it's multiple choice or fill in the blank or short answer. And so far, every class I've taken has been open book, but you still obviously need to prepare because they're timed. So if you didn't prepare, you wouldn't be able to finish in time. You can't just look up the answers at the midterm.
Well, that would be too easy, right?
That's right.
Awesome. Well, I think we've answered all the questions. I'm just going to throw this last slide up for anybody who missed the QR code at the beginning. If you want to reach out to us, there's also our general email address and our phone number. We do have people answering the phone. If you don't get someone, don't worry, just leave a voicemail and we will call you right back. And yeah, I think we covered a lot today. I hope you learned something about the iMSA program. I wanted to say a special thank you to Michelle for being here today and taking the time to share your experience in the program. If you are interested in speaking with current students, we also have lots of students that we can connect you with that you just fill out a short form that actually Allison can throw that in the chat. And we'll go ahead and connect with the student to talk with them about their experience as well. So that's definitely something that we can do. We have lots of ways to connect. So just reach out if you're interested. Thank you, Allison, for doing the Q&A and the chat. And yeah, I hope we get to see you here in the future. And we're excited to see where we can help you with your education and your professional development. So thank you, and everybody have a good evening, afternoon, or morning, wherever you're at in the world. Thanks for being here. Bye.